chaps starting off a chorus in a bird's cage in Samuel Muraya's poultry farm located in Udheru. Muraya, an IT specialist by profession, is a man with a mission to prosper through hard work. The father of three has invested in the quails rearing business that is showing great promise. But what is this small bird that rarely flies?
The first time I heard about quails is while I was doing my Bible study in the book of Exodus, when the children of Israel asked for meat and God sent them quails. However, during the last few months actually, that's when the quail thing has come up to the country. And it's a small bird which matures in two months, and it hatches. The incubation period is 18 days, and it layers a very small egg which is very nutritional. By nutritional factor, it boosts the human immune system. So that's why it is very famous, because of the immune natures of the same bird.
Only 3 months since he ventured in quails farming, Muraya has grown his stock of quails from 100 to 3,000 birds.
My starting was very interesting. I started with 50 birds, and they were 1 day old. And I put them in a brooder and an infrared light. At night the light went out and they died, all of them. So I bought another lot, which was now eggs, and I incubated them. Out of 50 eggs, 37 hatched, and the ones that hatched, again I gave them water, and they all entered into the water, and they died, all of them. So the next one, I literally went to someone who has birds and I bought 100 of them. So my first stock that I was able to rear to maturity was 100 birds.
The venture started with perennial shortage of the much sought after indigenous chicken and their more nutritious eggs that are characterized by a deep yellow yolk.
I looked for 1,000 eggs from the village. I was getting 5 here, 3 there, 1 tray there, and I couldn't get consolidated 1,000 eggs. So, but when I realized that the demand for kienyeji is getting so high, both in the hotels and both for the eggs, that is what prompted me to do the kienyeji chicken. The exotic ones, the broilers, everyone is doing it. The layers, everyone is doing it. But very few people are doing kienyeji. And so I saw an opportunity.
The prospects of good income saw Muraya put up this corrugated iron sheet chicken house with capacity to accommodate 3,000 birds. Soon, however, he heard about the exciting opportunities in quail farming and quickly diversified and focused even more on the new line of farming business.
Don't keep a very small number of quails, because let's say, for example, you've kept 50 quails and 25 of them are males. So you're only expecting to have at least like 25 eggs per day, which cannot, from a business sense, will not break even because of the feeds and everything else. But if you do like 100 and 50% are males, then probably with 50 eggs and one selling at 50 shillings, you're already in good money. That way you're able to manage it nicely. This is a production whereby you are producing things from the farm. And so you're able to make money from the eggs themselves. You're able to make money from hatching those eggs. You're able to make money from selling the birds as a whole. You're able to make money from selling young birds, when you position yourself like a breeder. And so there are many levels of making money. Yeah? And even so, you're able to prepare the eggs themselves or the quails themselves and sell them as meat. Yeah? But in these other industries, where like the little industries, you only make money from one level. You buy, sell, the margin. This is where we started. The incubator, we bought it locally, and it has a capacity of 243 eggs.
Demand for the quail birds prompted him to seek financing to import an incubator and hatchery equipment with capacity to hold 12,000 eggs.
Look for that financier who will believe in you by seeing what you've done, not theory, but practical. That is probably where we fail most, that we are not able to present our idea to a financier physically. With a lot of theory, yes, but having shown you injection in the same. Yeah. For Equity, when I went to them, they asked me what have I done, and so when I showed them the kind of structures I have put in place, and I'm asking them, look, give me some money to expand this to this magnitude, they were more than willing. This one takes 210, this one takes 88.
Limited eggs for his incubator has forced him to use it for hatching the indigenous chicken, whose demand is also on the rise, although it is the quails that fetch even higher prices.
Right now, there is serious demand of the same egg, and also for farmers who want to rear the birds. And so the quail has a very high demand in the market. Right now, there are so many people who are inquiring about the same and also giving orders for the same, both for the eggs and the bird itself. It's very difficult to sell the mature bird for now because it's laying a golden egg. But again, for young ones, which are 2 weeks or even a month, those ones we are able to sell.
Muraya is clear about the business he has invested in and expects to reap from at least 6 avenues. The most lucrative line of income is sale of eggs for consumption. There is also sale of quails for meat, hatchery service for other farmers, quail feed production, quail cages, and training potential quail keepers.
My wife is Rakshela, and she has done a master's in entrepreneurship, and she teaches business courses. One of the things that we are doing is that we are doing this business together with her. I am preparing her a crash whereby the students she is teaching, the theory part of it, they can come and see the practical bit of it. And seeing is believing.
The most critical stage in the quails business is the market, which is so huge that prices are astonishingly steep. The tiny egg sells for as much as 70 shillings, but rarely drops below 35 shillings compared to the larger chicken egg that averages at 12 shillings each.
The major customers is from the farmers, the ones who want to rear their own, to have a breeding stock. And the other customers is from people who want to eat the eggs for nutritional value.
The quail's egg market is insatiable, courtesy of a belief that the egg has a relatively high nutrition value compared to chicken eggs.
Quail eggs, people say they are more tasty than the normal eggs. Eggs are basically of high biological value. All the eggs, basically they are high in protein, they are high, compared to even milk and meat, eggs are of high biological value. Eggs are all the same, whether they're from duck, chicken or quail. In terms of nutritional value, they all have the same nutritional value.
To rear quails, one requires licensing from Kenya Wildlife Service. In recent months, applications have grown to more than 100 per day, with prospective keepers traveling from as far as Homa Bay to Nairobi.
We are about 12 in Homa Bay County. So that we empower women economically. At household level, I stayed in Zambia for 4 years, and this is where I came with the idea of quail keeping. In Zambia or Southern African countries, they keep quail and it's just sold in the supermarkets, just like any other meat. They are packed into 3 or 4 packets, 4 in 1 packet or 3 in 1 packet, put in the freezers. So when you go to the supermarket, you just pick, you go and cook.
Among the entrepreneurs seeking licensing are youth investing in groups.
The youth are in huge number. Some even have formed kind of organizations. They have even gone through the social services for registered organizations. So they're taking permit as a group to venture into the business. The forms are in our website. They are available in our website. 2, there are some people who cannot be able to access to the website. We have our offices all over the country, spread over the country, and we can get the forms from our stations, whereby you get the form, fill the form, and then they forward the forms to us for assessment and for further guidance.
Prospective keepers must meet the minimum requirement, which includes certified cages to keep the birds and sourcing of quails and eggs.
A lot of farmers applying for these birds do not know where to get the breeding stock. And so the moment they come to apply for these licenses, they are linked to the farmers who are breeders. and then they can contact them directly and get the breeding stock from them. Remember, once you have the license does not entitle you to go and capture them in the wild.
At 36 years old, Muraya is a young man with an ambition to lead youth in entrepreneurship, beginning with quail production as certain occupation for health and wealth.
You need to understand with this bird, it's a wild bird. And so it's a wild bird, then it stays outside. So we want to create a cage that has the wild environment as much as possible. And that's why the cages are open. Other than where they are stepping on, everything else is open, where there is enough flow of air. Yeah? So you are able actually to expose it to cold, and actually it goes very healthy. The other thing is that it's like a very small bird, so it takes a very small space. So you're able to do, a multi-layered cage like this one, and you keep so many. Like for example, this one can take even 800 birds. For you to do 800 chicken, you need a very big house. And that would be very, very expensive to set up as well.